everyone. Welcome back to another podcast with Sam Rodriguez, and I got my guest here, Steven Gerraughty. He's another coach I met about a year ago now. I think it's been.
Just about.
Yeah. So I've been on his podcast a couple times. So now that I started mine, I thought it was fitting to have him be one of my guests. So we were just talking a little bit about his coaching philosophies and stuff, but I realized it was going to be a good conversation. I didn't want you guys to miss out on, so we'll just start right back there. So, Steven, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, and yeah, we were talking a little bit. We haven't touched base in a while, but
Yeah,
um, that's one of the nice things, or one of the cool things about this style of coaching and health coaching and all of that is that it continues to develop, especially in those early stages, because you're refining, like we were talking about, you're refining your niche, your offer, the whole nine yards. Um, so my coaching has changed a little bit since we talked last. And we were talking about the three P's that I coach by, and that's physiology, psychology, and performance. Your physiology is obviously your body. Your psychology is your brain and how it works, and then your performance is how the two work together. Um, so that is the essence of what I focus on, but in practice, it looks fairly similar to, most coaching programs as far as, yes, we cover, nutrition and the training programs,
yeah,
obviously,
hmm
but we focus a lot more on everything else outside of the gym. So we focus a lot on the lifestyle habits, your morning routines, your sleep routines, your time blocking. Essentially, it was all of the things that I struggled with.
yeah, right.
But yeah, that was just how it grew. It was, this is just what I'm seeing most people struggle with is it's not, just the gym or what food to eat. It's life around that, and not a lot of coaching programs really adapt to your life in real time.
hmm
And so that's why I wanted to be that resource.
Yeah, that's awesome. I totally agree because, um, I mean, because obviously people still struggle with the eating part and the gym part, but if you get to work with someone and then they don't take into account like the whole rest of your life, which is kind of like 90% of it, then even if you're not going to get the results you want if like it's not going to fit into your life.
Exactly. And that's just as an example, I'll use my current star client, Paige. Love her. Um, she is a CEO and she's the founder of her own wellness and peptide clinic. So she has employees, she's a mom, she's
hmm
a wife, she's got all of the responsibilities. And on her check-ins, if you're only looking at the physical as far as the gym and nutrition, she's on the mark. I mean,
Yeah.
she's progressing, she's doing all the things, but when you dive a little bit deeper and you start talking about stress and, time management and just kind of how people feel in general outside of the gym
Yeah.
throughout their day, um like she was rating her energy was now up. She was rating it at an 8 or a 9 out of 10 instead of, wherever we started.
Nice.
But the way she felt with herself and her relationship with her family and even the business, she was having trouble letting go and like separating work and home. So that is what we're focusing on now, is much more of the full daily structure of exactly what you do when you wake up in the morning. The first 30 minutes, whatever it is when you wake up. Same thing at night. We're doing the wind down routines. We are establishing uh, specific time blocks for mindfulness and mindfulness practices.
Smart.
Um, One of the first things that we're starting to implement right now is brain dumping,
Okay.
which I recommend everybody do, especially if you have like a high stress job or just high stress period.
Hmm.
Um, at the end of your day, schedule about an hour, right? It's going to take about an hour, especially the first time because you have to get used to it. Um, Set a timer for 30 minutes. And for those 30 minutes, write down anything you're thinking, anything in your head that you've been thinking about throughout the week, throughout the day. Uh, and it doesn't have to be just like tasks that you need to complete. It's literally anything. So you're just dumping everything that you're holding in your head onto the paper. And as you start to do this, yeah, it's going to be things that need to get done or things that you haven't gotten done because the stressors are going to be kind of what starts to come out.
Hmm.
And then we break it down into a couple different categories. After you've taken those 30 minutes, brain dumped, you take a 5-minute break, go outside, stretch your legs, separate from the chaos that you just put on that paper. And then when you come back, we triage. And when we triage is when we break down that list into the categories they belong in. Whether it's
Okay.
whether it's do, if you put it in the do list, that is something that you are doing, that you have to do. And you are going to put it at a specific time on a specific day, and that's when it's getting done.
Love
We
it.
have delegate. So, especially for business owners,
Yeah.
parents, things like that, when we're talking about things that need to get done, delegating is huge. And so many people have such an issue with this idea of if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right.
Yes. Yeah.
Or just, if I don't do it, everything's going to fall apart. And especially starting a business, I mean, that's hard. That's hard to let go of, but it's important to be able to delegate tasks out. And that's going to give us more time, not only to put towards the business, but more times with our family. Um, but the same rules apply for delegate, is that you are reaching out to that person, whoever it's being delegated to, and you're not saying, have it done as soon as you can. It's nope, this is your task and this is when it needs to get done by. Um, we have do, delegate, I'm forgetting one, and then delete.
Okay.
Uh, Delete is going to be one of the hardest ones when you're starting because your brain is not going to want to let go of any of those things you just wrote down.
Okay.
But if you're holding on to things that you can't change, like if you're stressed about gas prices, if that's something that's been on your mind for the last month because
Yeah.
you drive an F-350 and you spend, $700 a month on gas,
Yeah.
can you change the gas prices? No. So that might be in the delete section,
Yeah.
Obviously we can talk about trading the car in and everything, but
Yeah.
that was just an extreme example. Um, But you would be surprised once you write down concerns like that and then put them in like you compartmentalize it. That's what we're doing. We are manually compartmentalizing our thoughts.
Yeah.
And as soon as you write it down and write delete, you would be surprised at how easy it is to kind of let go of that. But doing all of that as you like is much different than just, here's your nutrition plan and
Yeah.
here's your program.
Yeah. Way different.
Yeah, a little more high touch.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
um, and it requires a certain level of trust between the coach and the client as well when you start getting into that stuff because you're integrating into their whole life at that point, you know. Um, so this is not somewhere that I start with my clients.
Yeah.
Putting that out there
Okay.
as I'm not just taking people on and then being like, all right, complete overhaul, we're flipping your life upside down, get ready. um Absolutely, at its core this program is 100% still about looking better and feeling better, right?
Okay.
So everyone still starts with the basics of starting a routine, whether with the gym, with nutrition, with all of it. um so we're not just flipping your life
Yeah.
upside down,
Yeah.
but Because some people do want that though. Like they'll come to me and kind of be like, "Well, I told you that I have these 6 concerns. How come we're only addressing this one?" And it's like, "Well, we need to address one at a time, first of all."
Yeah,
There's some things like if you're not sleeping enough and you're not drinking enough water, it's like, yeah, those are 2 things that we're going to want to address at the same time. Um, but if you have a specific concern, then that might have to wait until we stack the next habit,
yeah,
because for Paige, just to use her as an example again, she's been with me a few months now, and we are just now starting to tack in the lifestyle stuff. Um, so it's a process.
yeah, yeah. Because you got to start with like the water and sleep. Like if you're not drinking enough water and not sleeping, then you really need to start there before you try to add anything else in.
Well, and that's any of my clients, especially, will tell you that I am so annoying when it comes to sleep.
Yeah,
I that's where I start.
same.
If because if you're not sleeping well, then everything else is screwed up. So
Oh yeah,
that's always where I start, and especially because my clientele at first was mainly military first responders, so a lot of them have really jacked up sleep schedules,
yes,
and it's not just a matter of go to bed on time because they don't know when bedtime is necessarily going to be.
yeah.
So for a lot of that, it's just kind of making the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, you just gotta like once you like if they especially if they work like swing shift or something or like a graveyard shift and it's or if it's their days are like rotating, then it's you kind of just have to adjust it as the day goes. Like okay, well you got off at this time now, you can start doing your bedtime routine even though it's noon.
Well, and that's one of my clients is currently working at a prison overnights, and I had to have that discussion with him of like keeping a consistent bedtime
Hmm.
even on his days off,
Yes.
which is ugly
Yes.
for some people. And they're like, "Well, what do you mean? I want to be awake during the day." Yeah, well, we should work nights.
Yeah.
um, because you are going to hold yourself back so much more by flipping your schedule 2 days a week, on the weekends or
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah. And then
than yeah, than if you were to just stick to it.
yeah, because I'd done that before when I worked nights, and then it was just too much to try to like get back into working nights. So I would just keep my schedule consistent. Just what had messed me up the last few months, which my coach got onto me, but I couldn't really change it because it was my schedule. Because I was working like 3 swing shifts at the railroad, and then the fourth day I was working an overnight shift, and so like that's just how my schedule was every week. So just every week I just wouldn't sleep one day, and I'd sleep like 2 hours that day. I just like take a nap before work, and that was like all the sleep I would get. And so my coach was like, "You got to be sleeping more." I was like, "I can't. I have to work for 10 hours, and then I'm up, and then I don't want to sleep then because I want to be able to sleep at a normal time. Like so, then I just stay up and then go to sleep at like 8 p.m. and then just like start my normal sleep schedule again. So
But now you're back
yeah,
behind a day and playing
yeah,
catch up for the rest of the week,
and
and
then
then
I
by the
catch,
time
and
you
by the time
feel
I
good,
catch
it's time to do it again.
exactly. So my schedule
uh,
changed a month ago, and I work like 3 early morning shifts and like a midday shift. So now I can sleep consistently at least 6 hours every night. So I should be able to make if I was still making progress with the lack of sleep once a week for 3 months, then I should make really good progress now that I'm sleeping.
yeah, and honestly, like it is crazy how drastic the difference is across the board when you fix your sleep.
Yeah.
Like literally, I coming from the Marine Corps especially, my immediate reaction for some things is like irritation and anger.
Hmm.
Uh, And with little things, like stubbing my toe, kicking
Yeah.
the coffee table, whatever it is, my cat's making too much noise. Um, Stuff like that, just being irritated. And, you start getting enough sleep. Oh, now I'm waking up and my cats are there and I'm like all lovey with them and everything. And it's like, dude, you mean I can wake up happy?
Yeah.
That's weird. I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I thought for the longest time that I was just not a morning person. I even said it for up until fairly recently, is that even the Marine Corps couldn't get me to be a morning person. Like I just
Yeah.
hate it.
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't waking up rested at all. My HRV was all out of whack. My body temps were super low in the morning. Like it was just a list
Yeah.
of not being recovered.
So, yeah, there's a huge difference. So, yeah, once you can get like all that dialed in, then yeah, like we said, it just makes a huge difference, and then you can start stacking all the other habits on top of that.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that people, I don't want to say don't realize because I think they do. It's just that everyone is always chasing the quick fix, the magic pill, the whatever it is. And so they don't want to do the things that work. They want to do the things that's fast.
Yeah,
And I see it even in the commercials for, the GLP-1s and stuff is you'll notice it says can lose up to 20% of your body weight.
yeah,
It doesn't say fat. It doesn't say like anything like that. It says body weight. And
yeah,
now there's all the studies coming out about the osteoporosis and I was calling that as soon as they started this shit and making it, mainstream. I was like, we're gonna have weak bones in like 10 years. Just wait.
yeah,
Uh
yeah. Because people are they're taking it, but they're not doing any like resistance, like or like weight training with it to keep any muscle. So if you're not going to be doing any weight training, then you're going to lose the muscle, which is going to lead to your bones being weaker because there's nothing like that your bones would need to be stronger for.
well, and especially for women, as they age, if they haven't been doing resistance training, um, their risk like significantly increases pretty
Yeah,
quick.
yeah,
Well, we do have to get your sleep fixed. I keep coming back to that in my head. Only sleeping 6 hours is crazy, and it's just very fresh in my mind right now because I just made a couple posts about it.
yeah,
Um, but I think it's like after a couple weeks of 6 hours of sleep, your cognitive function is the same as that of someone uh, who is over the legal limit for alcohol.
yeah. Well, it just one day a week I get 6 hours. The other days I get like 7 to 8. It's because
Yeah,
the one day it was last night because I get off work at like 4:30, and then I come home, have dinner and everything, and then I try to get to bed by 8 because I have to wake back up at 2 in the morning to be at work by 3. So I just need to try to have like some time with the family before going to sleep. But all the rest of the days I can have enough time to go to sleep and have like around like 7 or 8 hours. Yeah.
yeah, we need to get you off that railroad, man.
Dude, that's the whole point. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast.
Hey, there you go. There you go. So I didn't even realize you're just starting the podcast now.
Yeah, I just started it like a week or two ago.
Okay. How many
Yeah.
episodes have you done so far?
This will be the third one.
Nice.
Yes.
Keep it up, because I was doing them sporadically here and there. Uh, not really
Hmm.
anything. I was just doing it whenever I could get a guest to come on, basically.
Yeah.
And now that I'm starting to, I just started doing it
Again.
weekly.
Hmm.
Um, and my views are like getting there. Not, no,
Nice.
they're nothing crazy. They're nothing crazy by
Yeah.
any means, but I think it was the other day, I had like 7 emails from people who had watched
Nice.
the podcast and wanted to come on. And I was like, Yeah, we can
Nice.
definitely talk about it.
Yeah.
So it takes some time.
Yeah.
The first like 6 months plus of my views are like down here, and then all of a sudden it just goes.
Yeah.
So it takes a while. I think it's oh, what are the statistics on that? I think the majority of people who like start a podcast fail in the first year. I think, or first 6 months even. I think it's the same thing with like business and coaching and all of that. So
Probably. But
we're
we
already we're
yeah, we're
already
doing
up
pretty
here,
good because it's been like a year of us doing the coaching thing. So,
Yeah. So now it's just a
or
matter of toughing it out.
yeah. Well, I mean, I've been coaching. I guess I've been coaching like longer because I just started with coaching my friends just to help them. But I
Hmm.
didn't really start taking it like seriously um, until like a year ago. It was like a little over a year ago now. That's when I was like, wait, why don't I just like really do this instead of just helping just a few friends out? Like, I have all
Yeah,
this
because
knowledge. I can
all
help
of a
so many more
sudden,
people.
yeah, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is like I could do this.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, that was yeah. I feel like a lot of people in this space kind of fell into it. Like it wasn't necessarily something that they strived for their whole life, you know? Like no one is 6 years old and thinks I want to grow up and be a fitness trainer
Yeah.
or, a health coach, a
Yeah.
wellness coach, a mentor, whatever you want your title to be. Um, a lot of us fell into it, I think, and even more of us, I think it was like I can't think of the numbers off the top of my head, but my personal experience at least like was from the bottom, from rock bottom. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent. I don't know how I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
Um and I spent the last $500 I had in credit. So not $500 I had in the bank.
Yeah.
I was out of that. I maxed out like two credit cards, and then I was on my last one, and I had $500 left, and I used that to get Caden as my coach a little over a year ago,
Okay.
and that was the thing that just kind of kicked me in the ass.
Yeah.
That was the thing that got me moving again.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it really was like oh, I could do this.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about like I would do that either. I just started like, working out one day when I was so like out of shape and hated the way I looked. And then just over the years of just really geeking out over everything and like getting really into lifting and then just everything I've learned, I'm like, well, I should probably start like teaching other people all the stuff I've learned. It'd be a waste if I could just hoarded it to myself.
See, I was between jobs. I had just gotten out of the Marine Corps. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just gonna get into like sales again or finance or just
Hmm.
something with money.
Yeah.
Um, and then after I went to jail,
Very
just for a
Marine,
little bit,
just very
yeah,
Marine Corps of you.
it really is. I really tried to make a point when I joined the Marine Corps of not fitting into the stereotypes. I think the only stereotype that I didn't get was I don't have kids.
Okay.
I checked off all the other boxes though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a whole bunch of personal stuff going on, whatever, and then I was working like three part-time jobs, two part-time jobs, and going to school full time and all this stuff, and started doing the NASM course online just to kind of more so to test my own knowledge in a sense. Like I wanted to see if I could get the certification. Um, so I wasn't taking it super serious. I didn't have like a career in mind for that or anything. It was just a possibility, maybe make a couple extra bucks training at the gym or something.
Yeah.
Um, and then with losing my friend, um, that was kind of what made the switch into this is going to be my business because as soon as I heard that he passed or that he took his own life, I knew that I wanted to make sure that his daughter got sent to school. So that was my first and initial goal.
Okay.
And then that kind of developed into I want to start a nonprofit for kids who have lost a parent to suicide. And so I want to provide like school supplies, uh, mental health resources. I want to have like a big brother, big sister kind of program. Um, so it while it started as just this little like, oh, maybe I'll personal train at the gym sometimes
Hmm.
thing, it all of a sudden, exploded into this is my life now. This is the business I'm running. I'm starting this as my first business. I'm gonna make more. We're
Yeah.
just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Like so it's an interesting track that brings you here for sure. And everyone is just from such different backgrounds, I feel like.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Because
Because go ahead.
I was gonna say because we met in that other like mentorship or container, whatever you want to call it, like a year ago. Kind of like doing our continued education, so we can
Hmm.
be like better coaches. Which I'm really glad I met you because because now we can do like podcasts and everything
Yeah.
and share
And
your
I
story.
definitely I have met quite a few cool fucking people,
Hmm.
especially through this. Like I think that's probably the best part of like the fitness and health space is the people you meet, like by far. Because I've met some of the coolest people, uh, and all over the country, which is also cool.
Yeah, that's
Like I
also
got
pretty
to go
cool.
to yeah, I got to go to Bakersfield, California.
Hmm.
Went to a couple gym openings there, met some cool people. Um, you guys are all out there in Texas. There's
Yeah.
plenty in Texas.
Yeah.
Uh, I got to go to Florida, and I got to be a sponsor for like a rooftop mixer. That was awesome. I got to walk in Men's Fashion Week.
Yeah.
All this cool stuff is just happening. Like I'm sponsoring this upcoming weekend. I'm actually sponsoring a pro fighter in Massachusetts. So I'm going to be sitting.
Sweet. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting cage side for his fight. Uh, and it's one of those like small world things. So I went to high school with this kid,
Okay.
which was I say kid, we're 30 now. Um, yeah, so we graduated in 2014,
Okay.
and I haven't seen him since pretty much.
Hmm.
And then I ran into him. Keep in mind this he's from Massachusetts.
Okay.
And then when I was in Miami for Men's Fashion Week, I ran into him at a Starbucks.
Oh, so random.
Like like he was walking into the Starbucks and I like caught him out of the corner of my eye and just like immediately recognized him.
Yeah.